Hi, this is Barry Farber. Welcome to Breakthrough. Want to know how a four-time Olympian makes it in sports, business, and life? Don't go away. Mentors are everywhere. One of the lessons I've learned from martial arts over the years is beware of a master without a mentor. Even if we outgrow people who we looked up to as mentors, we should always be searching and learning from others who have real-world lessons to leave behind. We need continuous learning and someone to push us where we think we cannot go. Mentors come in all shapes and sizes, but here are two key attributes I look for when evaluating their advice. One, they have to have real-world hands-on experience. If they've never done it successfully, how can they give you practical insights? And number two, honesty and integrity. It's the foundation of any mentor. Otherwise, their message has flaws and lack of clarity. Today, we have an Olympic champion joining us to share her real-world insights on personal achievements and breakthroughs in track and field, business, and life. We'll be right back.
As a four-time Olympian, I've made sports my mission by establishing the Joetta Sports Foundation, where we go into school districts and talk about fitness and sports and being healthy. I think sports changes lives because it teaches you how to be confident, courageous, focused, and disciplined, and these are characteristics that you need to have in life. I want people to know that, yes, I am a four-time Olympian, but my mission is not to have these kids be Olympians. My mission is to make sure that they are champions of their lives, that they do the best that they can do, and that they realize that sports and fitness are very important. So if I can get that across to people, especially my youth, I'm very happy. I work diligently to try and create programs that help the kids. So many kids are not healthy, they're not eating properly, and as a four-time Olympian, I have a platform and I should make a difference. So that's what I want to do, and that's why my mission in the community is to make sure that we combat obesity and make sure that we do that through sports. Personally, I believe to whom much is given, much is required. But anyone that comes through my programs, they understand strong mind, strong body, that equals a strong future. And that's what we do at the Joetta Sports Foundation.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes, B, console her,
don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Joetta Clark-Diggs is here to share her breakthrough strategies that have made her a world-class athlete with a work ethic that's second to none. She was inducted to the Hall of Fame in 2009 and ranked top 10 in the world 9 times, 15-time All-American, 11-time USA national champion, and in 1997, at age 37, she was ranked number 4 in the world. Joetta, thanks for coming on Breakthrough. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So how about we take a look at the way things work with sports, because I love how you watched a lot of video of you and some of the things that were online.
Yes.
And let's take a look at sports, but there's a metaphor with sports and life and business, and what did you learn all those years in the Olympic experience to tie back into that?
Well, with sports, I use that as a way to go to school, to travel the world, but what I learned in sports, I use that in business and in life. So people say, well, you're not going to be an Olympic champion or you're not going to be a world champion. Well, there's a lot more to being in sports than just being a champion and getting a medal. You can be the champion of your life by achieving your goals, by helping others, and by feeling good about your accomplishments.
All right, feeling good. Now, I read a lot about what you've done, all right, yes. But I love your comments about you have to believe in yourself. That's the number one goal, because you can surround yourself with great people, which you talk about is important.
Yes.
But how do you get somebody, because confidence, I believe, is a huge factor in success. It determines a big part of that. If they don't have that belief in them, people can see through that.
Yes.
What can you tell somebody who's on the border of just giving up on something or not feeling good about their progress in a business event or anything, sports? What do you tell them? How do they get that belief inside?
Well, I always say you can doubt anybody in the world that you want, but you can never doubt yourself. And I always count on me. I always think that I can do it. So often people look to other people to make them look good and feel good. I always say look into yourself. Look at what you can do. Look at what you've done and count on yourself. Believe in yourself. Don't count yourself out. Just always count yourself in. And that goes back to the story about the dog that's lying on the nail. He's lying on the nail, making all this noise, moaning and groaning. Someone asks the owner, why is the dog moaning and groaning? The owner says the dog is lying on the nail. And the next question is, why doesn't the dog get up? Well, the dog doesn't get up because he's not motivated. It doesn't hurt bad enough. Yeah. So find that thing in your life that hurts you bad enough to get you up and motivate you to do something.
Right. And adversity changes people's lives in many different ways. I don't wish it on anybody, but sometimes it's if people look back and say, what about this? People say, I wouldn't trade that experience for anything because of what it gave me as far as a motivation or inner sight to what I can do. And like you talk about, nobody puts something in front of you. God doesn't do that unless it's a lesson or something to teach you to take on. Talk about how that happens. What do you do in life when adversity hits? Have you had some adversity?
Oh, we all have had adversities, and I look at it 2 ways. Sometimes it depends on the person. Adversities could be a challenge and build character, but also adversity could also discourage you. So it just depends on how you're looking at it. Are you optimistic or pessimistic? We're going to all have challenging times. Everyone has a set of cards that they're dealt, and you play your card to win. But what do you do when you have adversity? Do you give up? Do you find a way to get through the challenging times, or do you blame other folks for your demise? So I try and tell people that yes, you have adversity, and things are not going to always go the way you want. I made 4 Olympic teams. I tried out 6 times. That means I didn't make it twice, but I didn't give up on my dream and on my vision, and I went back in, and I didn't do the same thing that I did the first time. So if you have adversities, you figure what is going wrong and what went wrong, and you go make some changes to what you did the first time.
What happened when you didn't make the team? What went through your mind?
I was upset because I thought that I could. So I was upset. I was, my coaching, myself, my team, I blamed everyone and myself as well. But after I had that pity party, I went back in and said, what did I do that was good and what did I do that was bad? And I changed and took out some of the bad things, and I changed some of the good things, which enabled me to make the other teams. So when you are having a challenging time, don't go back in there and keep doing the same thing over and over again. Now, there's some things that you have to do over and over again. I had to train. I had to stretch. I had to eat right. That wasn't going to change. But my coaches, my workouts, my recovery, those things could change.
Right. So you adapted and made changes, and that's huge because So I look at it, they say life is like a grindstone. It either grinds you down or polishes you up. It's all how you look at that incoming information as intelligence. How can I do this differently? And I think that adversity is a blessing sometimes. That gives you insights to yourself and people around you. I think that's great. You talk about confidence, and they say you can't sink any ship in the ocean unless you let the water inside, right? But it's the same with people. As soon as they're inside, they don't believe in what they're, I don't think I'm going to do this, they're sunk. No matter how much is giving them, support, if they don't believe. What are some, like 2 or 3 things people can do to build that confidence ongoing, whether they're in sports, business, life, anything?
I think the one thing besides believing in yourself is to realize that you can do anything. You can, life is full of cans. So you can do all these things. However, you have to be a student of what you're trying to do. So if you're in business, you have to know your business really well. As a speaker, I have to know my industry. As an athlete, I have to know my competitors. So once you do that, then you find that you can achieve your goals. And I think that so often people doubt themselves. And what I do is I look at what I did in the past, and I use that to propel me forward.
Absolutely.
So some of the good things that I did, some of the things that made me smile, some of the things that brought me joy, I focused on those things to get me through the rough times. Because if I did it once, I can do it again.
Right, and getting through the tough times. So I represent clients or products, and like one client is a skateboarder, and he wanted to publish a book, and he got rejected 30, 35 times. And then when he got published, we sold 50,000 like in the first 6 months. And you look at the history of that, and it helps you keep, and the next, what, you're getting rejected here again all of a sudden. Hey, wait, that's part of life. It's nobody's going to just say yes to everybody, and everything will be easy.
That's important for people to realize that you're not going to get what you want all the time, but you're only a failure if you fail to get back up there and try. So life is full of situations, and you meet people for seasons or for reasons, but whatever it is, stay focused. If you have no vision, you have no victory. So I always had a vision, and my victory didn't always come when I wanted it, but it came when I needed it. So that's important too.
You have an amazing family, okay? You have a sister who runs, you can talk about her, and a brother who's a coach, and a sister-in-law, and you came in 1, 2, and 3. And the one note I want to read is that the only one in history to win a sectional state in all groups 4 consecutive years, male, female, in any sport. And can you talk about what happened there? What was that about?
Well, I was in high school, and so in New Jersey we have these different competitions, the sectionals, the groups, and all groups. And I went pretty much undefeated in high school. Well, not pretty much. I went undefeated in high school and at 800 meters, but I won the sectionals, groups, and all groups 4 consecutive years. And so that was a big deal because
nobody's done that.
No one's done that. And that was a big deal then. And I was one of the best athletes in the state, in the country at that time. And when I was doing that, you don't realize you're trying to win races, especially at my level. I was trying to win and go undefeated because I could. Everyone has their own talent levels, so everyone can't do that. But once I started doing that, I didn't realize that I had done something special until my senior year. Because in life, you're so busy trying to run that fast time or beat that person or get that award that you don't have that moment where you look back and say, God, I've done so many good things. But when I became a senior, and they were like, well, if you win this last race, you'll be the only athlete to have done that. So I won the last race, and it wasn't by design. It just happened. I was prepared, however, for that challenge, and I accomplished it.
You know what I love about you? From the radio show, and we don't know each other outside of the radio show and the television here, but you're very humble. You're very nice. You feedback fast. You respond. Arrogance is a big pet peeve of mine, and one of my mentors, who, people who think they're a certain level, they don't need to, give back or something. And I think you do tremendous. Especially, I want to get into your foundation, both of them, but especially the Joetta Clark Diggs Sports
Foundation.
Yes,
that's right. Well, to answer your first part, being humble, I believe too much is given, much is required. So there's no reason
to whom
much is given, much is required. So I've been given a lot, so I have to give back a lot. You feed the atmosphere, you feed back, and when you give back and do well, it helps other people. I always say, if you wrap yourself around yourself is a small package. So my goal is to wrap myself around a bigger package, which are people and my kids through my foundation.
Right, and was it K through 12?
My foundation focuses on K through 12,
right.
And we are the fitness program in school districts. So we have 4 different programs that we have in districts. Our Head to Toe Fitness program, our Fitness Challenge, our Cisco program, and my Eliminate Excuses program. So we go in and we're the gym program and we teach you nutrition and how to work out healthy and how to read labels and anti-bullying programs. And we do all these things because districts are losing out on fitness programs. And we go in and we do these programs free of charge sometimes. We get grants to be able to do these programs. We have programs that we have during the year to raise money to go into all districts. We do urban, suburban, rural, white, black, Hispanic. It doesn't really matter. Kids are kids, and they need someone to believe in them, to support them, and that's what we do. We bridge that gap.
It's amazing. One word to a child can change their whole life. I've heard stories over and over, and it's a nice feeling when kids come up to you and you talk about, they give you a hug and thank you, and that's what it's all about. There's William Danforth, the founder of Ralston Purina Company, wrote this book in the 20s, but the one quote out of it I always never forgot was, catch a passion for helping others and a richer life comes back to you.
Absolutely.
Sounds like that's what you're doing with these kids.
And then when they grow up, they come back, they want to volunteer. They get married, they invite me to the weddings, and I make a big, huge impact. I just spoke the other day at a university, in Lehigh University. No, I'm sorry, not Lehigh University, Moravian University. And the little girl came over to me. I looked at her, and I remembered her from one of my camps. She was a camper that I had in Mendham, and now she's a senior in college, and she wants to now help volunteer. She's in advertising and marketing. So you change the lives of so many kids, and you don't realize that while you're doing it. You just wanted to do something good and to leave an indelible imprint on their lives. That happened to me as well.
Yeah. When we come back, I want to talk about what you did growing up and your family, and I think there was a lot of support there too. But I want to get into nurture versus nature. Oh, she was born a runner. Oh, they're born lucky. Oh, she has that talent. Somebody once told me that there's, everybody has different levels of talent. Let's say you can fill a 20-gallon jug of talent. Somebody else can fill 10 gallons. The key always said was fill it.
Right.
Like you say, your parents said you're not a failure as long as you give your 100% and come back and try again.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's the most important thing. So often you're trying to play someone else's cards. Play your own card. Like you said, you only have 10 gallons, but fill it with 10 gallons. Right. Fill it with the best you that you can, and by doing that, you'll be the best you that you should be. Right.
So when we go back, I'm going to talk about your childhood and to coming to this point, and also your book, The Principles of Success, which I love, and I love the perturbed of P. Okay, I want to get into that because I'm curious about how.
Okay.
All right. So we'll be right back with Joetta Clark-Diggs right after this.
We are neighbors and best friends.
I love my sister.
My heart doesn't see race. Love is love.
Our family is no less than any other family.
What this place needs is better graduation rates.
What this place needs is less childhood obesity.
What this place needs is free help with taxes.
What this place needs is healthy breakfast.
What this place needs is fitness programs for kids.
What this place needs is early readers.
What this place needs is mentors for teens.
What this place needs is people to join us. What this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, Go to unitedway.org.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course.
Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. Behold the angry giant. The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
It appears that Joetta Clark Diggs, with a final lunge, made it a 1-2-3 finish for the Clark family.
As I stand here and I look at my career and I think about how it all started, me being born and a Jersey baby in East Orange General Hospital, and then me being raised in the city of Newark, running up and down Chancellor Avenue, Broad Street, all over the city of Newark, and then going on to high school at Columbia High School, and then graduating. I look at all I did as an athlete, and it was preparing me for the world. And when I went abroad and people would say, "Where are you from?" I would say New Jersey. And they would go, "You have an attitude. What is this New Jersey attitude?" I said, "No, we don't have an attitude. We believe in ourselves. We are resilient." It's like you have those salt and pepper shakers, and in order for them to really do anything, you have to get the salt and pepper out of the shakers. We have to shake things up. So Jersey is, we like to shake things up.
Welcome back. This is Barry Farber with Joetta Clark Diggs, and we're talking about success, achievement through sports, and bringing it back for the kids and giving back like you do. But let's go back to the years you grew up, and I guess you grew up in Newark, New Jersey. Yes. And talk about the family and the influence your father and mother had on you and your siblings.
Had a really great family growing up in the city of Newark. It was fun. Back in the 60s, a lot of tension, but we had a lot of love in the family, so that kind of superseded everything. And we worked really hard. My parents worked hard to provide opportunities for us, and that was a great thing. And then, as you know, we went to Columbia High School. We went there from Maplewood. I was from the South Orange side, but life just continued to get better. I went off to college, the University of Tennessee, and I look at my childhood as it set me up for all of the things that I did in high school and in college. It gave me a great foundation. Played with a lot of my friends. We went to camps. We studied. Our parents, believed in us. Right. They taught us right from wrong. They taught us core values for what they thought were core values, but most importantly, they taught us to respect people. And I think because of that foundation, I was able to use that through high school and college when things were kind of difficult.
Right. We have similar, my parents were in education. Mother's a nurse, taught health, and my father was a vice principal at Westside High in Newark, and Malcolm X Shabazz, and he used to play, he had some fun. I learned a lot from him. He was a mentor of mine, and big believer in education. And I love what you said, education is the new currency.
Absolutely.
Well, your father being obviously Joe Clark,
yep.
yes, who they made the movie Lean on Me about.
Yes.
And talk about his influence on your mom, and what did they do? Anything that really sticks in your mind that you would be able to share with others as a great lesson?
I think I saw them working hard. I saw them putting the time and energy in to be successful and wanting to leave something for the kids. And I think that that's important. They were parents first, friends didn't come probably until I got out of college. So they ruled with an iron fist, and it was a nice balance. My mother was a cosmetologist, had her own business as well. And so it was a nice balance in the family. And I think that so often parents don't have a balance. They want to be more their friends as opposed to setting guidelines for their kids. So I try to do that now with my daughter, even though times have changed. I still try and have guidelines and boundaries and
she might not like what you're saying to her.
She probably won't like it. I didn't like it either, but it'd be good for her. And
but for the future.
As they say in church, they see it better by and by. They see it better as they get older. And I thank my parents for working so hard to provide opportunities for us, making major sacrifices financially to take us all over the world and have us travel. And I think make us well-rounded people.
That's great. And about your book, you know, I love the 5 P principles. Joetta's P principles for success.
Yes.
You can get the book anywhere on Amazon and bookstores. But talk about, you know, there's prepared, there's preparation, there's perseverance. But I like the perturbed part. What does that mean?
Well, the P's are in order, and you're right. What is your purpose? How do you prepare? You have to be patient. You get perturbed, and you persevere. But to your question, perturbed, when you get upset. You know, I always say perturbed is a SAT word, but pissed off. You know, what pisses you off? Why are you perturbed? And when you get perturbed, how do you work through that? Are you optimistic or are you pessimistic? Do you blame other people? Do you get back up there and figure it out? So in life, what gets you perturbed is what makes you successful. Right. But you have to figure out a balance. And I've gotten perturbed because people said, Joetta, you're too old to run, or you don't look this way, you can't model. Or, you know, you're not married, yes, so you're not going to be, you know, what kind of woman is not married by the time they're 40 years old? All of those things people say about me, it perturbed me, but I always have to prove myself right. So I do things for the right reason at the right times, and I don't let people push me into doing something that I don't think is right or it's the wrong time.
Right. Who are they to tell you what they know about
Absolutely.
you? Not
they
inside, you're the only person who knows that
Absolutely.
information.
And they say what you can't do because they see themselves through you, and they can't do it.
Yeah.
So I don't let people put anything on me. I listen. I say, okay, that's the way you feel about it, and I'll show you that I can do it, and more importantly, show myself that I can do it. That's if I want to do it. Right. Sometimes people say, you should do this. But I don't want to do it at that time.
If you believe in something and you know you have value, no makes you go.
Right.
Right. You tell me no, I'll figure out a way to do it.
Make it happen. That's
Who
right.
are you to tell me? I love that. Yeah. It's great. You know, what's funny is I think I'm going to turn this show into an hour because you have great information. I had so much notes that I wanted to go through, but I think you covered a lot of great points. I really appreciate you coming on the show.
And
really
thank
do,
you.
Joetta.
I
it's
enjoy
a
the
pleasure.
opportunity to be here.
Always good.
Thank
always
you very
good
much.
stuff. This is Barry Farber. Thanks for joining in. And I just want to share one tip that Joetta brings up. We always talk about this as a metaphor. This is the FoldzFlat pen, but when you fall flat on your face in life, you have to get back up, because when you get back up, you unfold new opportunities. All right, it's a snap. And by the way, in life, sometimes stressful, you can sit there and snap the pen if you want. It relieves stress, right? But this is Barry Farber. Until next time, see you then.